1. 1, 2. Check. There we go, Ron. That's good. We're good.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We welcome everyone and the angels on 142 Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We open our prayer books, top of page 124, as we read together 124 in Mishkan Tefillah. We enter the sanctuary to welcome Shabbat within these walls. Please join me. We sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built a synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. And the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. We're going to invite up Monica Singletary, our Director of Membership and Engagement, who will light our Shabbat candles.
Page 120. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
For those who are able, we rise together for our Kiddush 123.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו מרצה בנו בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
It's my great pleasure to welcome Dr. Mark Cohen to the Bima as he leads us in a reading on page 126. And Robbie and I owe a lot to Mark as being our ritual chair. For those who want to know why we've had so much Hebrew in the service, I'm just kidding. But anyway, he's been helping us navigate the new prayer books, and every time we want to change something, he's given us such great feedback, and we're so lucky to have you as our ritual chair. Good feedback.
Thank you. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life.
Thank you. We officially enter Kabbalat Shabbat with Psalm 95 on page 130. Lechu neranen al Adonai nariya litzur yisheinu Lechu neranen al Adonai nariya litzur yisheinu nekadma fanav betoda bizmirot nariya lo ki el gadol Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim
אשר בידו מחקרי ארץ ותועפות הרים לו. אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, ויבשת ידיו יצרו. כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו המריתו וצאן ידו.
Please sing along. It's a little bit of a different melody than we normally do, but 138, Lecha Dodi. Oh, so I apologize. We go to 134 for part of Psalm 98, Zamru Ladonai.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות וקול שופר. הריעו לפני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו חב יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ. ידי 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 ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבי בה. נהרות ימחאו חב יחד הרים ירננו.
We sing together 138, Lecha Dodi.
לחנוני לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה ירדה ירדה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה שמור וזכור ודיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה ירדה ירדה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי היא מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחר שבת תחילה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה ירדה ירדה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה ירדה ירדה לחנוני לקראת קלה ירדה 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
We rise together to greet Shabbat Hamelka.
Moi ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחנוני likrat kalai Adonai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelai Adonai Lechandon di likrat kalai Adonai 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 B'nei Shabbat Nekabelai.
We turn to the bottom of page 145 and we welcome Dr. Adam Gordon, our second in line of the presidency, but I guess in your official capacity is when the staff gets in trouble, we come see you because you head the personnel committee. Is that what you're here as, personnel committee? Or okay, just want to make sure. You look great. Okay.
Thank you. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
We say right there, 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב מאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
146, we rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada da da da, 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 yada da da da. Barechu et Adonai HaMeborach Baruch Adonai HaMeborach Le'olam Eva'ed Le'olam Eva'ed Yada da da da, 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 yada da da da.
The top of page 149, we read together. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom such a way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv aravim, on the next page.
We're actually going to stay on that page for a minute.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom balayla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom balayla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
We sing of God's eternal love on 150.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shokveinu uvkumeinu, nasiach mechukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נחגה יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Ba'ed.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים לחיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Together at the top of page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our song of freedom, our Micha Mocha, 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני מלוך לעולם ועד. יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די, יאי די 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 די.
Together, top of page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Ahashkivenu, 160.
Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
Top of page 163, we continue together. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments going by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם לעולם, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת מי נפש.
For those who are able, we rise together for our tefillah, 166.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue together at the top of page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest. May all who suffered find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. May this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue with our Ritzei 174.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael U'tefilatam be'ahava tekabel U'tehil ratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Karov Lechol Kore'ah Fenei Elavadecha Bechoneinu Shefoch Ruchacha Aleinu Betechzena Eineinu Beshuvcha LeTzion Berachamim Baruch atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato
Together, top of page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make a temperate reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech hanon lechol hashalom. Atahu melech hanon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. B'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. We take a few moments for private meditation. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. מאמרו, מאמרו,
At this moment in our service, we think of those in our community, those especially who are in need of healing of body or spirit. We think of Barbara Edelman, Linda Applebaum, Sophia Barry, Margaret Bell, Donna Berman, Harold Zeitlin, Orit Cohen, Lydia Cutler, Jenny Deutsch, Sharon Mahan, Rush Lishkoff, Elliot Moscow, Ron Ostreicher, Chad Petrowski, Malka Bath Rachel, Aaron Richard, Gene Sklar, Steve Spielberger, and Brenda Weinstein. For those who are with us tonight and they're thinking of a loved one, a friend, someone who means so much to you and you wish to share their name out loud, we invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours or by standing. Go ahead, Toby. Go ahead, Toby. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our prayer for healing, our Misha Berach, middle of page 371.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So a synagogue, in its most simplistic Greek translation, is a place to gather. We gather to pray, we gather to mourn, we gather to celebrate here at a synagogue, but we also gather to do. And the way that we're able to do things here at Temple Emanu-El is through our incredible volunteers. Whether it's temple circles, whether it's brotherhood or sisterhood, ritual committee, personnel committee, FRDC, I'm trying to list every single committee that we have. But if you are a volunteer here at Temple Emanu-El who has enriched our lives, we want you to come on this bima because we want to bless you and celebrate you for making this place so absolutely incredible. So all of our volunteers in various committees, come on up. Charlie, that means you. You're El Jefe. Come on. Cheryl, you're on the sisterhood board. You count 2. We have Hinenu, our caring committee. Tikkun Olam. Technology committee, Ben Smith, where are you? Security committee, Charlie can rep that. What else? Who else do we got? Adam Gordon, Religious School. Elizabeth, come on up. Sharon Goldstein, 2-time president. Come on up. Vicky, come on up. Robert Berman, no? Okay. We're going to ask all of our volunteers to come in front of the ark. Come on up as we bless all of your great things. Hit it, Jeff. You do an acapella? Okay.
May God bless you with all good. May God keep all evil from you. And may God fill your heart with wisdom and grace you with all truth. May God lift up God's merciful face and shine on you for all time. And may God grant you eternal peace. May God bless you with all good. May God keep all evil from you. And may God fill your heart with wisdom and grace you with all truth. May God lift up God's merciful face and shine on you for all time. And may God grant you eternal peace. Eternal peace. Yasher Koach, everyone.
I made a mistake. Fran Gotcha, our building committee representative. If you've seen downstairs, Hazaku Baruch, I must acknowledge Robert Berman. Looks fantastic. Helene, yes. She's responsible for this. Okay. All right. Part 4. high holiday prep. I don't know if I ever told you this story. At Vanderbilt, I took a class in the book of Genesis, and the professor who taught it once told us the story about the Akedah. The Akedah is the binding of Isaac. And we talk about volunteers. Eli, Perez, how many years will it be this Rosh Hashanah? 29 or 30? 30 years. Kanea Hora Pupui, 30 years. 30 years he's been chanting the Akedah. So the question is why? So at Vanderbilt, there was a symposium about the binding of Isaac. And one of the professors asked, what would you do if God told you to sacrifice your son? Would you do it? One person rose their hand. Professor of psychiatry said, before you do that, why don't you call me first? But here's the question. Why on Rosh Hashanah, the birthday of the world, why do we read a story that is near maddening terrain about a father who would blindly sacrifice his son to the God of Israel? When Eli gets to the part, he pauses. He goes, Hineni, correct? He pauses. He wants to get, it's emotional. The story, again, is maddening. But the question is as to why do we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah? Why this story? Why would it not be, which seems obvious, Genesis chapter 1, Bereshit bara Elohim v'et hashamayim v'et ha'aretz? That seems illogical and rational, but why would our rabbis want us to read such a terrifying story? The characters, we have Jacob. Ishmael was there. Abraham, Isaac. Why Abraham would do this to Isaac? Is it a conversation about blind loyalty to God? The rabbis are going to reject that. So in a way, Abraham fails the test. Or does he? Is it a conversation about why things happen to good people or bad people? That's a question of theodicy. Is that why we read it on Rosh Hashanah? Again, why do we read such a difficult story? Some rabbis don't even read it. They opt for an alternative reading because the story is too difficult to bear. But again, the question remains, why? What does Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur force us to do? Reflect, introspect, we examine what we did right, where our humanities were. That's my word for things that we did wrong. It's all about the human condition. And moreover, we talk about fear, love, jealousy. We talk about all these transgressions, and we look at the Torah itself. It is a representation of the human condition. We have difficult family dynamics, conspiracies. And that's why the rabbis believed that the Akedah was the archetype. It was the story that we're supposed to read. There's a notion called misarat nefesh. This is giving up or surrendering one's soul or oneself. Now, the mystical understanding that what are we giving up? What are we surrendering? Well, Abraham was going to surrender his son. But again, he doesn't pass the test. So what are we supposed to do on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? How do we engage in Mesarat HaNefesh? Surrendering the soul. Personal self-sacrifice. Think deeper. The birthday of the world requires us to try for us to improve our imperfections. And this biblical story is emblematic of improving one's imperfections. It is so maddening that the rabbis want us to see what something looks like on the extreme so that we can find center. So what does surrendering oneself or self-sacrifice look like us today? Perhaps sacrificing how we respond when we get upset. Maybe the gift to find perspective, to see the silver lining in things. On top of that, when we're here at Shul during the high holidays, we're supposed to challenge God. So here is a perfect story in which we are given the permission to say, this story doesn't seem right. So the Akedah on Rosh Hashanah is about us sacrificing the things that hinder us from perfecting ourselves. That's the reason. Now, when we study this in rabbinical school, it's a bit of a stretch to come to this conclusion of Misarat HaNefesh, surrendering one's soul. But we're supposed to find any understanding of this maddening text. And believe me, when Eli gets to Hineni part and he stops, it's supposed to terrify us. So for us, the binding of Isaac is the binding of our imperfections. It's our transgressions. And just as God stopped Abraham from sacrificing his son with the angel, it's this idea that Misarat HaNefesh that will stop, that will figure out a way that will stop ourselves from potentially causing harm to other people. That's why we read the Akedah, to improve ourselves. Okay, 586, we rise together. Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. מה אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we recall the yortzites of Claude Olun, Yetta Benton, William L. Camp, Connie Cohen, Larry Datnoff, Sarah Friedman, David Gamberg, Amelia Grafman, Isidore Halprin, Pauline E. Harris, Carolyn F. Heller, Sarah Glass Hirsch, Matilda L. Holzer, Bobby Kaminsky, Murray A. Coslin, Violet Lightman, Emma Sachs Levin, David S. Levine, Hyman Herc Maurice Levine Jr., Moise Levy, Charles Brooke Mahaffey, Polona Megson, Eleanor Melankoff, Benjamin S. Mayer, Sarah Moore, Marilyn Noble, Alan Oliver Sr., Adele Overall, Susie Ofson, Irving Phillipson, David Rich, Blanche Rogoff, Ann Rose, Mary Borth Roth, Edward Siegel, Manuel Steinberg, Bernard S. Steiner Jr., Doris L. Sugarman, J. Leon Toro, Jean Kaufman Wheel, Julius Wegner, Blanche Newman Wilson, and Ruth Wolf. Our heartfelt condolences on the recent passings of Jean Hagedorn, Daniel Harry Markson III, husband of Rosalind, brother of Carolyn Frozen, Claude Slate, brother of Rebecca Cohn. May all their memories forever be a blessing. We rise together as a united congregation for our Mortis Kaddish 598. Yikadal v'kadash shemei rabbah, v'yomad yivrach rotei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayet v'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala u'zman kariv v'yimru,
Amen.
Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam alamei maya, yitbarach v'hishabach yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kusha,
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata.
Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru
Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael,
v'yimru
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, me'imeru. Amen.
Before we conclude with Ein Keloheinu, I want to invite up our incredible Temple Circle leaders for the new season. Please come on up. You're going to stand right by the challah and join us on the bima, and then you will lead us in motzi, and then we will go downstairs for our weekend of WOW orientation. Sign up. Hit it, Jeff.
Ein Keloheinu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu, ein Keloheinu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Kadonenu, mi Kemalkeinu, mi Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom.
The graph tones.
The graph tones.